What do you call it when a billionaire president accepts a $400 million luxury jet from a foreign royal family? Diplomacy, desperation, or a direct flight into controversy? Imagine being offered a private Boeing 747 worth nearly $500 million by a foreign royal family. Would you take it? Well, Donald Trump just might. In a move that's raising eyebrows across Washington, and not just from his critics. Former President Donald Trump is defending the idea of accepting a luxury jumbo jet from the ruling family of Qatar. His plan? To use it as a stand-in Air Force One until he leaves office, and then hand it over to his Presidential Library Foundation. Speaking to reporters, Trump was unapologetic, saying, "Only a stupid person wouldn't accept this kind of gift." He framed the Qatari plane as a patriotic bargain, a way to save US taxpayers' money, since the current presidential aircraft are decades old and costly to maintain. "It's a great gesture," he said. "Why would I say no to a free, very expensive airplane?" But not everyone's clapping for this high-flying deal. Security risks and legal alarms. Even some Republicans are slamming the brakes. Senator Rick Scott bluntly said, "I'm not flying on a Qatari plane. They support Hamas." Meanwhile, Senator Shelley Moore Capito voiced concerns about surveillance, joking, "I'd be checking for bugs." And others, like Senators Cynthia Lummis and Rand Paul, warned about the legal and constitutional implications. At the heart of the issue, the US Constitution's Emoluments Clause, specifically Article 2, which bars presidents from accepting gifts from foreign governments without congressional approval. A $400 million aircraft from a foreign monarchy? Yeah, that qualifies. More than just a plane. And there's more. Experts say converting this plane into a secure version of Air Force One isn't a quick swap. It would take years to strip it down and rebuild it to meet US military standards. Every inch would need to be swept for spyware or other threats. So even if this is just a temporary fix, as Trump claims, the risk and the optics are huge. Ethics versus ego. Critics on both sides of the aisle are calling it tone-deaf and ethically murky. Some are pointing out the contrast with former President Jimmy Carter, who famously had to sell his peanut farm to avoid conflicts of interest. Now Trump might accept a royal jet. Even conservative commentators like Ben Shapiro and Tim Pool, normally pro-Trump, are expressing serious concerns. This time, it's not about politics. It's about principle, security, and common sense. A bigger picture. All this comes as Trump prepares for a high-stakes trip to the Middle East, noticeably skipping Israel. Some observers see that as a message to Prime Minister Netanyahu amid rising tensions over US policy in the region. Whether it's strategy or a snub, the timing couldn't be more controversial. Final thoughts. This story isn't just about a fancy plane. It's about power, perception, and whether a former president should accept a mega gift from a foreign power, especially one with complex ties in the Middle East. What do you think? Is Trump being practical, or is this a dangerous precedent? Stay tuned, because this jet-setting saga is just taking off. Flight